Okay, so it's video time. Just going through comic books as usual. Sorry, don't mean to sound all dramatic. It's sort of a nervous habit, I guess. But just trying to go through books right now and determine what's worth keeping and what's worth selling. I've got probably, I think it's like 75, around 75. That's like, I guess, the roundest number I could get close to. Boxes, like short boxes, of comics. Um, I've been collecting on and off. I probably will repeat this, but it's just part of the story, I guess. But I've been collecting on and off for like 25 or 30 years. I guess I was collecting back in junior high, which will date me, like, I guess, 88, 89. I remember those Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans when they were dropping. I remember at the height of my collecting, the beginnings era, Batman, the first era with Michael Keaton was coming out. And so I quit collecting for like 25 years. I sold all my books when I moved to the big city, quote unquote. That's Raleigh in North Carolina. And I sold all my books in high school because I became a teenager and all my interests changed. And I think, like a lot of people, everybody kind of got back into it. Everybody kind of forgotten their love for, I don't know. I think there's a lot of ingredients to the reasons for everybody returning to comics. It was just a big wave of people. I think it was probably several waves, and the movies just one by one kind of broke me down. It was like, they never really stopped after Batman. You got hit with the Spider-Mans and Darkman and, you name it, people. And, then the Marvel movies just started hitting super hard. Like that was sort of a cultural crescendo. It felt like, big fancy word there, but like it just like everybody, I think, got hit with that. It was just a lot of passion in making the movies and stuff. I think back then, and I think a lot of that has died out, including the passion, unfortunately. But who knows where the future will go? And all we need is the right people getting involved in the creative process. And maybe people have had a chance to recharge after the writer's strike and the actors strike. Everybody involved in that. But now that I have completely gotten off task or off subject here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just making a list. It's something I've done for years. Like, I guess is just sell comics on the side. Like, it's a lot of, the hobby's just fun. I don't have like a wife and I don't have a kid or kids, and I don't really have a lot of contact with family and that sort of thing. So I got like, a lot of free time. I do have a lot of interests, but it's good to have something to, that's kind of a little overwhelming for you to try to keep track of, it's something you can never keep up with all the comic books, past comics, current comics. It's all overwhelming, even for people who do it for a living and have done it for years. It's an incredibly overwhelming task. So I don't know, like trying to sell them has been really difficult for me. I just amassed this huge stack, boxes and boxes over the last, I guess, 4 or 5 years, and over the past year or two, I've been trying to organize those boxes, and along with getting new books and stuff, and it's just been a really tough task, and just working alone and moving and storage rooms and whatnot, and sort of kind of getting that knocked out at this point finally, and it just kind of felt like I should probably make a video about it. It just feels like a good topic. Maybe other people are struggling with it, because it's been really overwhelming for me. I imagine you can find better organization videos out there for how to organize your books or whatever. You're just probably going to do like Marvel, DC, indies, and then you alphabetize your indies. I think that's what a lot of people do. But my tastes are somewhat different. I think that's probably the basic thing. But like a lot of my interests in art or in comics are with art. Like I grew up like drawing and painting. And that's one of the real draws to the hobby for me is, cover art especially. But like if somebody can do interiors, that's, added bonus. I think the thing that keeps me, more than anything with comics is, growing fewer and far between, but the good stories. Right now I'm into the new Hulk run, Incredible Hulk, that just started this year in 2023, and I was into Immortal Hulk. I've got a bunch of those, like all of those, pretty much. Like Immortal Hulk was amazing. Al Ewing, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but like that guy knocked it out of the park a lot of times. I used to like to describe to people, it's like this book. I would, talking to the cats at the shop or whatever. It's like this book. Every issue you could open it up, and there's gonna be one time per issue where you turn the page and your jaw just drops. Whether it be the art or a lot of times it was just the good storytelling along with the art. And it was just a lot of horrific violence, I guess, as far as that book went. Just like body horror, I think, was the niche with that. But it was something like you're not getting in any other books, and it was amazing. It was fascinating. It kept me on the edge of my seat. First book I'd open up and read every week. And I don't read all my comics, again, cover art guy, but and I think there's a lot of us, but it's always exciting when there's a good run going on of books. Donny Cates was doing good stuff, but part of the problem is just nailing the landing on a story, and that's oftentimes disappointing. But I don't mean to go off on tangents, but again, just this is maybe all over the place with comics, it seems like with this particular video, but definitely organizing the books right now and trying to, the singular reason, I guess, that I decided to make this video is that I came to a realization somewhat for myself, and it's not exactly black and white, but so what to keep and what to sell, right? I mean, because this probably applies to anybody, whether you collect comic books or cards or records or CDs or stamps or vehicles or what have you. What do you want to keep and what do you want to sell? Because I'm old now, but I grew up as a hippie. I'm a mixed race guy. If you take that for how you want to, but probably want to be careful. It's probably a hot button issue as of the last 10 years, I guess, for my personal life. But sorry to get off topic. Again, hot button issue. What to keep, what to sell. It's something I've honestly wrestled with for years. Okay, yeah, I grew up a hippie, and one of the lessons that I learned is that material wealth is usually not necessarily beneficial, for one's soul. pause, right? Because take that for what you will, and people have different beliefs, but I'm an artist, I'm a hippie, uh, you know, and so I don't hold a lot of value on material goods. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I'm not a rich guy, but like I think even if I were a rich guy, I don't think I would buy a lot of stuff. It's like uh, relationships, we're time is a relative thing, and that's something you learn as you grow older. It's time does it plays games, with your mind, uh, inherently. So these things are profound, like what to keep, what to get rid of, and maybe I take things too seriously at times. Um, but I sold all my comics, when I was a kid. So like I know what it feels like to lose those, Killing Joke first prints and Spider-Man 298, 299, 300, etc. I know what those feelings. I've sold books, that I didn't necessarily want to sell. I think 2 copies of Blue Marvel #1 come to mind immediately. Near mint copies, the entire series with one of those. So, I understand what it feels like to have something that you really value and to let it go, because you need to do that, in my opinion, to feel like to feel what it feels like to touch the eye. You're not gonna not gonna kill you. You should probably do it. So okay, and so I collect a lot of moderns. Probably my focus. I love Jeff DeCal. I love Adam Hughes. Uh, Brian Boland, Bill Sienkiewicz, excuse me. If I've got that right, I don't pretend to know the guy, but like I'm a modern art guy. Like I love people who push the boundaries and stuff. I was a big Peach Momoko fan when she first started, and I think she still knocks some of her books out of the park. I'll probably try to revisit this. I think this is something I'm going to try to make some videos on. Is just, maybe art and comics, but we'll see. But, rounding back around to this thing, I guess these are fuzzy logic. These aren't necessarily clear cut ideas, but like, it when you see it, it moves you, I've got this picture of a Will Jack photo. This is an exclusive cover of Heat Seeker Firepower. Or no, I'm sorry. One second. It's not even the full title. Gun Honey, right? It's not a bad book. I actually did read Gun Honey, and it's not a bad book. It's quite entertaining. I'm not a noir guy, and I actually quite enjoyed that. I look forward to reading the rest of those books. But I've been looking at this book. I'm like, I just got these in the other day. I paid like too much for these books, right? And when I bought it, I was like, there's no way that that I'm going to be able to get this book without these selling out. And I call it FOMO, call it what you want. I know exclusives a lot, man, and like I've seen a lot come and go. Missed out on a few, just not being fast enough. But like honestly, I don't know if I was just caught up in the moment, just busy at work and whatever went on. But like I just tried to make sure that I had my hands on this one, and I really like it. Yeah. You can call it good girl art, I guess. You look through time, though, and you look at art and what we value with art and classical paintings and Renaissance paintings. We're all human. It, we all have brains, we're all, if it's life, then it's got a brain, then it's going to have stuff that clicks on and off, right? It's going to have sensors it's buttons that get pressed whenever its sensors go off, right? I don't know. Whatever the reason, I'm a grown ass man approaching 50 years old all too rapidly. But this is something that's been a passion of mine, is collecting beautiful covers for like the last, 5 years, honestly. I used to love Brian Boland and Bill Sienkiewicz when I was a kid. Never heard of Adam Hughes when I was a kid. Used to absolutely love Todd McFarlane. These people today are just taking those, the things I used to like about those things, and they're taking them to extremes. So it's a train that I just chose to get on board with. And if I didn't think that it was a healthy thing for myself or for other people, and it might change my opinion about that at some point in time. But if I didn't see, women participating in this hobby as much as I do guys, then I wouldn't be as passionate about it, because that's important to me. There's equality. Like I said, as someone who's mixed race, it's you tend to look out. The civil rights movement happened with a lot of people coming together. That wasn't just like minorities. That was women. That was handicapped people. It's just people who were less privileged, because we're all privileged to a certain degree. But it's a passion of mine. I'm like, don't want to sell this, because I have ups and downs with my career, and there are times when I could just use extra money. And I think the holidays coming up, problems with the economy right now. It's something that I've been into politics and that sort of thing for 20, 25 years. So I try to pay attention to that, and it's amazing, how closely linked everything is. When something pulls on one part of the economy, everything else is affected by it. That's something that I've definitely observed over the last few years. So I don't know. Don't mean to go on and on and on, but like definitely trying to wrap this up. 17 and a half minutes here. These books are beautiful. I've got other books, it's not just good girl art. When I find a new artist, Bjorn Berens, I suppose is this fellow's name. It's just a lovely cover. Here's another one that's, from recently that's, just really, it's silly, it's Deadpool, and it's funny. It's like a gangster rap album, I got one copy of this. I bought it recently. But books like these, if I got 2 copies, yeah, I'll sell a copy. But if it moves you, if it presses those buttons in your brain, because sometimes you actually have to get the book and like sit there and hang out with it for a bit. It's like, and it's trial and error. I was just discussing, I've got like 4 or 5 books, or 4 or 5 boxes of books that I just, I love them. I love the idea of the books when they were coming out, and, I got them and I've had them and I haven't wanted them for years, 4 or 5 short boxes of books that I could just, I'll probably just end up getting like, $20 a box for at the local comic shop, just to get them out of the way, because that's sort of where I'm at. I've got 70 short boxes. I'm trying to get this down to about 20 or 30. I think that would be ideal. Probably 20, because they're always adding on. But I'll try to be back. 20 minutes. That's plenty long enough. This is some talk radio bullshit right here. If you're a commuter or something, But I'm just another old ass head. Uh, but like, I feel like, just the more conversation is out there about, um, I would say silly, but like, you know, it's just the nature of the universe. It's like everything is both things, right? Everything is the yin and everything is the yang. It's the sillier something is, the the more serious it is when you look at it closely enough. Everything is its opposite, you know, with exceptions, I suppose. Yeah, you know, I don't mean to get poetic or philosophical here, but I'm gonna definitely wrap this up. I'll try to come back and do more videos.